corporate burnout and the nervous system. Why your body is telling the truth long before your calendar does. What if your burnout didn't start with one bad day, but with 1,000 small overrides? The tight jaw you ignored, the shallow breathing you normalized, the skipped meals, the late night scrolling, the constant urgency, the smiling while stressed, the pushing through what your body had already flagged. What if your calendar says you're productive, but your nervous system says you're in survival mode? Today, we're talking about corporate burnout and the nervous system because sometimes your body is telling the truth long before your schedule does. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who's my biggest fan and my BFF for real. I'm also a certified celebrity personal trainer, a fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, built in Los Angeles. I trained at Juilliard School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only three-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs. The first of the 450 fitness DVDs was led by celebrity trainer and the GOAT, Gunnar Peterson, known for training the Kardashian family. As a celebrity personal trainer myself, some of my most notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, Amber Riley of Glee, just to name a few. As a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, Justin Baldoni, Issa Rae, and Tiana Taylor because she is on a hot streak right now. That's just to name a few. I share my many accomplishments for a couple of reasons. One, because this may be your first time listening to this podcast episode. And two, not for my ego, but really to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom planted in me so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I'm still becoming. So if you're listening and or watching, pull up a digital chair, grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. A 15-minute micro learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you are here because this is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, where we invite lots of grace into this space because we're living in some interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body health because ultimately that is our wealth. And microdoses for macro living. Make sure you join me twice daily for just 15 minutes, that's all, at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause, for a cause, clarity, wellness, grace, and intentional decision making. And giving yourself grace because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode will offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question to sit with and hopefully encourage you to give yourself more grace in whatever space you may be in, with something practical, something grounded, and something you could carry with you. So wherever you're listening from, turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about. And please leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not a monologue. And if you feel inclined, a 5-star rating. Now let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lean into today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready, set to grow and go and be great. So the title for today's episode is, again, Corporate Burnout and the Nervous System. This episode is for the person who knows how to perform functionality. You know how to show up. You know how to get it done. You know how to be dependable. You know how to carry a lot. And because you're capable, people assume you're okay. Maybe you assume that too, but your body has been sending you signals. And the problem with burnout is that it usually doesn't arrive as a dramatic collapse at first. It often arrives as subtle disconnection. You stop feeling rested, you stop feeling clear, you stop feeling present, you stop finding joy in things that used to restore you. You're still moving, but your system is strained. And in corporate culture, especially, a lot of burnout gets rewarded before it gets addressed. Overworking gets called commitment. Over availability gets called leadership. Chronic stress gets called ambition. Self neglect gets called discipline. So let's be clear, burnout is not just about being busy. Burnout is what happens when your nervous system stays activated for too long without enough recovery, safety, or support. So that's why this conversation matters, because you can't detox burnout with productivity hacks alone. You and I need regulation, we need boundaries, we need restoration, and we need honesty, which brings me to part one. Burnout is a nervous system conversation, not just a time management problem. A lot of people think burnout means I need a vacation. And yes, you could use that too, and rest can help. But if your nervous system is chronically dysregulated, one weekend off won't undo a pattern of constant activation. If your body has learned to live in urgency, you can't be off the clock and still not feel safe enough to rest. You might be sitting down, but your jaw is tight, your chest is heavy, your thoughts are racing, you're checking your phone, your work phone and your company phone and your personal phone, you're replaying conversations, anticipating problems, bracing for the next ask. This is not just stress, this is a system that has adapted to pressure. And if we don't name that, we keep blaming ourselves. We say, oh, I need to be better organized. I need more discipline. I just need to push through this quarter. After this project, I'll rest. But this quarter ends. The project ends. Another demand begins. And your body keeps the score. So yes, structure matters, but so does regulation. Because a deregulated nervous system can make even simple tasks feel heavy. And a regulated nervous system can help you respond without collapsing. Which brings me to part two. Corporate burnout trains you to ignore your own signals. Corporate environments can condition people to override themselves, not always intentionally, but consistently. You learn to answer fast, stay available, perform calm, absorb pressure, adapt to shifting demands, suppress frustration, keep going even when your body stays stuck and wants to stop. And over time, you may stop recognizing your own signals. You don't notice hunger until you're shaky. You don't notice exhaustion until you snap. You don't notice grief until your body forces a slowdown. You don't notice anxiety until your sleep is disrupted. So that's what makes burnout dangerous. It could disconnect you from your own dashboard, your internal dashboard. And if you are disconnected from your own signals, you can make aligned decisions. You can't make aligned decisions. You think you're making aligned decisions, but you're not. You make survival decisions, reactive decisions, fear-based decisions, people-pleasing decisions, image-preserving decisions. Not because you and I are weak, but because our system thinks that it's loaded, but it's really overloaded. And this is why I say your body is telling the truth before your calendar does. Your calendar may still look like you're quote unquote managing it or managed, but your body knows this pace is not sustainable. This environment feels unsafe. This role is costing too much. This level of access is too high. This stress is no longer short term. And when your body tells the truth, discernment starts to sharpen. If you're willing to listen, which brings me to part 3. Nervous system detox in corporate life starts with micro restoration. Now, let's make this practical. A lot of people hear nervous system regulation and they think it has to be complicated. It doesn't. Especially in a corporate environment or high demand season, detox may begin with micro restoration, not escaping your whole life overnight, not quitting in panic, not waiting for the perfect reset. Micro restoration means building moments of safety and recovery into the life you have right now. So that could look like one slower breath before answering, not checking your phone the second you wake up, stepping outside for 5 minutes between meetings, eating before you're depleted, unclenching your jaw, relaxing your shoulders, shortening access to people who drain you, ending one task before starting 3 more, letting one email wait, taking your lunch without multitasking. These sound small because they are, and small is not shallow. Small, repeated practices, i.e., micro learning, teach your body I am not in immediate danger. I do not have to live in constant bracing. I can pause and still be okay. This is how regulation begins. And as your system destabilizes, your clarity improves. You think better, you communicate better, you choose better, you recover faster. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's sustainable leadership. That's sustainable living. So let's go into practical reset. What do you do this week? First, number 1, you have to name your burnout signals. Write down your top 5 signs: jaw tension, fatigue, brain fog, insomnia, snapping at people, lashing out at people, dread, procrastination, shallow breathing, whatever is true for you. Then number 2, choose one daily regulation anchor. Just pick one. 3 slow breaths before opening email. Eat lunch away from your screen. 5 minutes walk between your meetings. No scrolling for the first 15 minutes of the day. Shoulder or jaw check 3 times a day. Number 3, identify one access point that needs a boundary. What is overacting or overactivating your system? A person, a chat thread, a group thread, late night messages, and always on expectation? And just choose one boundary. Number 4, replace push through with one better question. Ask, what would support my nervous system right now while still honoring my responsibilities? That question builds sustainable success, which brings me to the 3 keys and one question to reflect on. Key number 1, burnout is a nervous system issue, not just a scheduling issue, and regulation matters as much as organization. Key number 2, your body is data. Stop overriding the signals. Your systems may be information and not failure. Key number 3, build micro restorations into your real life, not your fantasy life. Small repeated practices create macro stability. One reflection question: what has my body been trying to tell me about my pace, my pressure, or environment? And what is that one micro restoration practice that I can commit to this week? So sit with that, because your body is not the enemy. It may be the first place truth is getting through. So before you go, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's truly been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you for continuing to give yourself grace in this space with me today. And I'm genuinely thankful you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. So before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and one question. Key number 1, burnout is a nervous system issue, not just a scheduling issue. And regulation matters as much as organization. Key number 2, your body is data. Stop overriding the signals. Your systems may be information, not failure. Key number 3, build micro restorations into your real life, not your fantasy life. Small repeated practices create macro stability. And our question to sit with: what has my body been trying to tell me about my pace, my pressure, or environment? And what is one micro restoration practice I can commit to this week? If today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, if there's anything that I shared that pricked your heart or lit a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about, or leave a 5-star rating, because it truly helps the space to grow and reach others who may need it. And before we close, I want to extend a gentle invitation. If you've been consistently in reflecting and listening and feeling like you want to move beyond just listening and into a community to connect with intentional growth, I'd love for you to consider becoming a C3 Cut to the Chasers Champion Circle founding member. This is a foundational community for those who want to build, grow, and heal together intentionally, honestly, and in rhythm. And the founding members will help shape what this space grows and becomes. And I'd be honored to have you be a part of that beginning. So thank you for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose for macro living. Now let's close with one breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. I'm Madison Samone Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase at 8. You are ready, set to grow and go. Let's be clear and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours. Until tomorrow.